The rupee saw some minor gains, snapping 3 sessions of losses in the day today, but the sentiment on the street remains low after RBI Governor D. Subbarao said that the central bank would intervene only to curb volatility and that RBI would defend any particular exchange rate. The next cue for the rupee will come from the US non-farm payroll data, which will come out on Friday evening.
The volatility of the rupee, I cannot say anything more than the standard policy of the Reserve Bank, which is that we employ instruments available to us in order to manage volatility. We do not have an exchange rate target. We do not have an exchange rate band. We try to manage volatility in the currency movement, volatility very broadly defined, and we use all the instruments at our command. I have nothing more to say on that.
It's also getting then Arvind Narayanan. He's head of sales, treasury and markets, DBS Bank, and he joins us live in Mumbai as well. Welcome to the show, Arvind. What's your sense really coming in for the Indian rupee? The RBI statement, of course, has been very neutral, but the markets are expecting, especially from the strong equity markets and inflows expected from Unilever as well, to try and support the rupee.
Well, I carry a view which is slightly contrary to this. I expect the rupee to weaken a bit over the next few weeks, primarily because the underlying macro fundamentals support a very strong US dollar. The data which you're seeing from the US, the broad macro buying which is going on in India. So, for example, despite the Hindustan Lever's flow today, you still saw a lot of buying happening in US dollars and you still saw the rupee going above 60. I think this underlying sentiment would continue. We would continue to see more US dollar buying, and this would sustain over the next couple of weeks or so.
So, Arvind, with that backdrop, how would you or how much decline are you expecting in the Indian rupee? Because there have been figures like 63, 65, 70 also floating in the market.
Yeah. Okay, look, this is uncharted territory. So, obviously, the momentum has caught a lot of people by surprise, and there are a lot of numbers floating around. But if I have to think of a number, and this is a number which has been thrown by us a few months ago, we think 62, 63 is definitely a near-term target. And I think this would be driven entirely by what's happening globally, not because of what's happening in India. So this number is entirely based on the strength in the US. Add to this, whatever little weakness comes in from the India side, domestic side would only add to this. So 62 to 63, yes, is a very near-term target.
And what would be your best level scenario for the rupee?
When you say best level, you mean on the lower side?
Appreciating side.
Appreciating side, I do not expect rupee to go significantly below 59 in the short term. So any correction, 59, 58, 50 would probably be a good support, where the rupee would look to consolidate. But to me, the new range looks to be 58, 50, 59 on the lower side to about 63, 64 on the upper side.
Vijay, getting you in the conversation as well. What's your sense now coming in for the Indian rupee? No cues expected from the US markets. How would be the last day in India tomorrow?
Manisha, I think trade will be nervous, and I think traders will basically want to play safe and not short the USD INR too much, especially since it's a news-laden day, and that too after the Indian currency markets close. So my guess is if the rupee was to appreciate, I'm talking about the futures market here rather than the cash market, I think 59.75 is all I would give it in the prompt month series on the currency derivative segment. On the upside, the potential for testing 61 or 61.10 does remain an open possibility.
Arvind, what's your sense coming in for the forward premium, because that continues to remain on the higher side, and does that tell you that exporters are still not coming into the markets even as it holds 60?
That's right. I guess the sense we're getting from the exporters is most of them are willing to wait and watch, and it's very interesting because a lot of them have budgeted dollar rupee at much lower levels, say at 52, 53 or so. So any move up from here is making them more confident that they can afford to wait and watch, capture a good level if it comes. So as long as you don't see the exporters coming in big numbers, or you don't see a large amount of selling coming on the longer term, we don't expect forwards to come down significantly.
A quick last one to you, Arvind, and if you are dollar friendly, then where do you see the dollar index heading on the higher side?
Well, I guess an 84, 85 on the Dolex is something we should be prepared for immediately. Like I said, fundamentally, a lot of things seem to be going well for the US. it's aided by the fact that you're seeing some concerns in Greece, in Portugal, you're seeing some concerns in China. So by and large, the US dollar would gain across the board, and that would get reflected in the currency and the index.
All right, so that's the view coming in from our experts. Then more depreciation in cards for the Indian rupee going forward as well. Arvind and Vijay, thank you so much for joining us with your sense on all of those currencies. With that, completely out of time on the show. Thank you for watching.